可以。那一样呢，还有我们的赞助商打狗吧，只要今天国王赢球，2人同行第2锅半价也是一样。今天呢，你的票根呢，2个赞助商呢都可以好好的去享用。那在比赛之前呢，让我们再把我们的场地用最热烈的尖叫声欢迎我们新美啦啦队 DJ Chen Drop the Crease。
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, I'm married to this game. That's who I made my wife. Said I die alone, I told that you probably right. One thing that's for sure, not a stranger to this life. Got a safe that's full of Franklins and a shoulder full of stripes. I don't know a like myself. I say self-made, meaning I design myself. County jail fade.
我们现场的球迷朋友们，稍等一下下，我们啦啦队已经在前往的路上了，好不好
？West Side 60, I might got killed. Standing so tall, they think I might got stills. Legendary baller like Mike, like Will. 96 Impala, thug life on wheels.
那现场的朋友呢，也看到我们的雷射的灯光呢，跟以往也来点不一样的，是有点火焰的，火焰般燃烧的感觉，也要准备迎接我们的 play off。再一次热烈的掌声给我们的 Chris。
Everything I said I was gonna get on my kid. In addition to that fact, I went legit. Now, according to the way that I'm positioned in this biz, it look like I'm just gonna keep on getting rich. I know that West Side RSCs is us. LAPD on my dick, I'm a bust. If a rap diss, Swiss cheese is bust. All this rap money, look, I need too much. Money, loyalty, and love in the dream we trust.
DJ Chen Drop the Crease。
To heaven, have you? Ooh, it's the ride of your life. Hold on, cause baby, I might just give you a bite of your sweetest pie. Ooh, baby, we can go fast. I'll drive and you just lay back. I got the flavor, the last, yeah, the sweetest pie. I might take you home with us. I might give you all of it. Come get your dose of the sweetest pie. Ooh, it's the ride of your life.
Hot girl shit, but I'm cold every season. Know he got that pipe, let him bust it till it's leak. Yeah, booty like a pillow, he could use it while he sleeping. Look, don't be going through my phone, cause that's the old me. Ain't the only one tryna be my one and only. Real thick, moving slow, that body like he a player, but for making it, cutting the whole team. That
you've never been to heaven, have you? Ooh, it's the ride of your life. Hold on, cause baby, I might just give you a bite of the sweetest pie. Ooh, baby, we can go fast. I'll drive and you just lay back. I got the flavor, the last, yeah, the sweetest pie. Ooh,
party lit.
再把掌声给我们新北啦啦队 Chris。今天的欢呼声 OK 哦。 今天主场球队新北国王再一次面对 Formosa 台新梦想家，也是我们这个赛季的最后一场例行赛。首先为各位介绍 Formosa 台新梦想家，7号陈立焕，14号吴永胜，18号杨胜彦，21号简浩，42号布伊格。接下来介绍先发五人 Starting Five，0号陈正杰，2号王正元，23号钱肯尼，26号李德威，33号杨格维奇，总教练 Kyle Julius， 助理教练 Thomas， 刘文和赖柏林，总经理韩俊凯。在禁卫军登场之前呢，我们要播放一段来自远方的祝福，请所有新北国王的球迷们将你们的目光移至上方大荧幕。
What's up, everybody? It's me, Chris McCullough. I'm just stopping by to wish the team and the fans good luck on the upcoming playoffs. Man, I wish I was there to still play and root everybody on, man. I'm still watching. I'm proud to see that team's still doing good. Fans still reaching out, and, you know, just keep going. And I'll be in tune with the team and everything that's going on. Good luck. Peace. Peace.
我们掌声再给 Mike Carlo， 谢谢你，我们知道你一直都在。接下来，所有球迷朋友们拿着你的拍拍扇，跟着节奏一起来。接下来进场的是新北国王，首先为各位介绍 Number 24， 关键大心脏小胖洪志胜 ，Number 7， 观众哪爱看小丽林丽人 ，Number 28， 混血王子射手 Steve 张文平 ，Number 1， 侧翼高炮台 Mason 李盈峰 ，Number 33， 最强G95老板杨世志。Number 32， 禁区猛兽熊大 Byron Woods。Number 50， 禁卫军门神 Q Quincy Davis。马上为各位介绍新北国王先发5人。Starting five, Number 2， 来自台湾师大舒喜林世宪。Number 10， 禁卫军攻线手微笑射手简佑哲。Number 50， 来自政治大学小豪孙宇豪。 Number 25来自政治大学 Omar 小 Q 聂欧马。来了，来点不一样。Number 3来自国艺体的小明陈俊南。总教练 Ryan 马上，助理教练陈思念、张可君，球员发展顾问许浩成，体能教练张崇熙，球队经理洪志虎，防护员邱国凯，数据分析师林振宇，总经理毛家恩，执行长陈信生。
I don't stop until I break a sweat. Sweat. Ooh, wet. I keep tripping, hit them with finesse. Sweat. Ooh, wet. Every day I wake, I know I'm blessed. Blessed. Ooh, wet. Pull up like I barely hit the net. Wet. Sweat. Sweat. Ooh, ooh, wet. Sweat. Sweat. Ooh, wet. Sweat.
那一样呢，我们要帮大家复习一下，我们掌声再给我们新北的 Queens 上来呢，帮大家应援一下。
Wet. 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 Ooh, ooh, wet. 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 Ooh.
大家有一点久没有进球场了，所以我们呢就一个一个复习，我们就先从防守 defense 开始，好不好？
Defense, 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 defense.
大家熟悉一下哦。还有我们进攻的时候，我们会有一个 Let's Go Kings。DJ 上，麻烦你喽。
Let's go Kings, 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 let's go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. It's a Plus League game day. The Formosa Taishin Dreamers on a back-to-back will come into Xinzhuang Gymnasium to take on the new Taipei Kings. After last night's victory, the Dreamers do in fact clinch the second seed in the Plus League regular season, meaning we know the playoff brackets as we head into, well, the postseason. It's been a long road going, and we thank you for sticking with us. Of course, our league and of course the teams have been having to deal with some COVID delays, some COVID positive cases on their own camps. But as you saw, there's the standings, and there is the playoff brackets, where the playoffs will begin on Friday, June 3rd, between the Lioneers against these new Taipei Kings. Meanwhile, the Dreamers will host the Braves the day after in Taichung. On screen now is our Mandarin broadcast duo. On the left, Xiaohu Hu Junqi, and on the right, Caibao Cai Qingjing. 球员朋友们，你们找到了英文的转播，要看小胡情景的中文转播，就按到中文的转播连接。但谢谢你的收看，记得直播按赞。Well, focusing back on the game we have on hand, it's actually kind of been a lopsided affair between the Dreamers and the Kings. Things started off with the Kings opening the season against the Dreamers with a 20-point win, and the Dreamers' first time playing in Taichung only scored 64 points. And then hosting the Dreamers, the Kings on Thomas Welsh's 28 points, which is his Plus League career high, beat the Dreamers by 5 points here. Then the Dreamers, 16-point victory, and the Kings turned around a 20-point deficit, probably the best game in the series, biggest in team histories. After the Pilots did it to them on a Tuesday night, that was a 2-point victory down in Taichung. I called that one. And then we had the Dreamers' 39-point blowout here in Xinzhuang. That was the biggest spread in the second season. Of course, we saw their big victory against the Pilots in yesterday's game. Still yet to determine the Pilots and Steelers game, when that will take place, or if there would be a decided result. Well, heading into the playoffs, we caught up with Coach Kyle Julius. His second season as the Dreamers coach in the Plus League, having to build up a culture from the ABL where they had to abdicate.
And I think we've continuously been underappreciated and underestimated, and we've just continued to work hard and hammer away. So I think all of that together makes it different. We're a different team in this league. We're different in this league for sure. But now this season, you also see teams, everyone's switching now. All of a sudden, everyone is switching, and teams are going smaller than other teams. So it's very interesting to see how just in my 2 years, what was criticized last year is now very popular this year. So I'm proud of that. Extremely proud of our team, but definitely feel like we're the underdogs in this league for sure. You know, so for me to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year, it's an honor, but that has nothing to do with me. It's everything to do with our players and our ownership. You know, when I first came to Taiwan and I told the owners, let's play small, you know, let's cater to the skills of the Taiwanese players, the owners were on board. Jonathan and Lewis, they were on board. The media was against us, and you can't do that, you're too small. You know, now here we are, you know, with a chance to be in the finals for 2 years in a row. You know, a chance. We're second place. I think it's really special. So.
Well, the results have been effective for Coach Julius and the squad. Last season, despite only being the third place team in the Plus League, they were able to prevail against the Taoyuan Pilots in the 5-game playoff Challenger Series. And right now, they find themselves in second place just to the Lioneers, who, on their end, don't do too much switching. They like to put Sim in the middle and surround him with a bunch of wings and lanky players. But indeed, the Dreamers have stuck with that identity of switching defense. And even yesterday, without any imports, the Pilots wanted to punish them down low, and the Dreamers continued to send double teams to force the ball out of those guys' hands. Of course, they've also kind of switched up their maybe offensive approach, being a little bit more spread in their offensive attack. Last year, the Jaron Young, Anthony Tucker, and Stephen Hicks, who made a quick stint here in the Plus League second season, but this season, from the very beginning, they had Brendan Gilbeck kind of man the center position and provide a lot of rim protection. And then Yankovic and Boyd have come in and provided, you know, a variety of skills, whether inside or outside. But on the other side, a number of Kings coming out of quarantine, and Venti talked about that experience.
艰难的问题在于，可能准备好了，然后突然间又不打，那你的对手的对战组合跟对战的策略又会一直改来改去。那我们能做的就是在训练中。去把自己的，就是因为会很急躁嘛，因为毕竟比赛一直延，又一直延这样子，所以大家人心态就是维持训练，那就是把自己的状态尽量去调整回来这样子。对，收获我觉得比较重要在于是我们跟 Mullins 的搭配，因为毕竟像我可能第一场跟 Mullins 配，包括 Q 也是，所以这些 Mullins 毕竟对我们来说，可能在季后赛会是一个 X 因子之类的，那如何赶快在跟其他人有磨合更好一点，这是我觉得对我们来说，不管是有无关排名之外的东西，我们必须要去争取跟掌握的。
Venti Hong Zhisan, he's in there with the team, said that the start and stops and knowing who's on the team and available versus the opponents for every game has definitely been a tricky thing, but not too big of a problem for Venti, a veteran player. But then he did admit that all the delays in this season have kind of made it tough for them to build up their rhythm and also maintain their intensity during practice, having to sustain that, not knowing when that next game could be, as we had to push the whole week 11 back and week 21 back. But the bonus out of that is they got to work with their most recent import, Byron Mullins, a little bit more, get used to him and see how he will work with Welsh and how he worked with Quincy Davis, who's in the lineup for the first time for a long time. And we have a very interesting starting lineup for both teams, given that tonight's results won't actually have any impact in the standings.
Go right over the middle, full speed, like you're going down the lane. You're going to set a pin on Omar's guy right to the front of the rim. As this is happening, right as Sushi gets right in a step in the paint, YH, you're going to pin down on JJ's guy over the top. Omar will be your first look. JJ will be your second look.
But on the other side, Calvin Chen Li Huan getting the whiteboard and providing instructions in English. He was born in the state of New York. And Calvin determining the end of the timeout. No other coaches have imports, so might have a little bit more of a down season than he wanted, but still involved heavily with the Dreamers. Good to see. Long Yuhan will be the crew chief among this staff of officials for today's game. And for the Dreamers starting lineup from left to right, Derek Lee, Wei, Yankovic, Jason Wang Zhengyuan, Kenny Chen, and Jay Chen, Chen Zhenjie. Meanwhile, for the Kings, they'll be starting 4 rookies, including Omar, Steven Chen Junan, Zheng Yuhao, Lin Sixuan, and Jian Youzhe, the only multi-year professional. So if I pulled up my notes about the starters, Jason Wang Zhengyuan making his first start of his career yesterday. Jay Chen made his first start of his Plus League career for the Dreamers in his second season, of course. Derek, he last started March 19th, and only 4th start this season, of course, we mentioned all year, battling with injuries and also saving up his energies for the playoff run. Meanwhile, for the Kings, Sushi, Zheng Yuhao, and Omar will be making their first starts, just missing out on KJ Hong Kai-jie to make the Zhenzi University starting trio. After the ceremonial first tip, opening tip is up. Everybody's checking around. All set to go, and we'll start things off for the Kings. They're in white, and the Dreamers are in their black set. Steven on the low post, JJ on the down screen as Coach Marchand drew it up. There's Xiaoming flushing the three. Now interesting, if you watch the pregame show, as Kenny blows by Steven. Yankovic getting to the rim, and the foul call on Sushi. Might have hit a funny bone. Hopefully he'll be all right. Well, anyways, Chen Jungnan is colloquially known as Xiaoming after Amigo. As you see Yankovic and Sushi, maybe not such a nice move and foul there. Hopefully he's all right. That is his right elbow, his shooting elbow. Well, anyway, Steven was introduced last, but they didn't give him the Amigo bell tower soundbite, so that's kind of funny. Guess he's not at that level yet. A couple free throws, and the Dreamers are now on the board. Sushi to the hoop, gets it out, and JJ will try a mid-range. Off the backboard and out. Here come the Dreamers on a fast break. Jason flipping it a little wide. The Kings and Dreamers do love to run a 5-out set as JJ turns a 3 into a miss. So as we mentioned, this game won't matter to the standings, but will be a chance for the youngsters to show themselves off as Wang Zhengyuan knocks down another 3. Yesterday he scored 10 points, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. That's why I said again. Zhao will try and leaves it short. And that's the thing about the Dreamers. Like to have their imports start things up top. Coach Julius also has mentioned plenty of times that really want to feature the local players in their offensive attack. And logistically, it makes a lot of sense for any team in Taiwan to really target local point guards and local wing players, as that is the strength of Taiwanese basketball, not in the paint. Derek's one-on-one doesn't go anywhere, so Yankovic will bury the 3. That's a good start for the Serb. Yankovic chasing around Sushi. And JJ will get another shot, and all the shots he can take as Omar. Smart hands, and Yunhao will just dribble it out of bounds. Now, additionally, with the standings out of the question at this point, we also know the leaders in individual stats categories. I'll bring that to you later. Right now, Derek really loose with the basketball, missing the mid-range shot. Steven hesitates and hits another. I don't think the Kings fans would mind if Xiaoming takes on Aming's scoring load. He does lead all Kings in scoring at 21 points per game. That is Amigo, not Steven. Pick and roll as Yankovic missing at the rim, bothered by Omar. So Sushi, another hammer action. Steven can't go 3 for 3. So he had his bench excited. On the other side, Kenny Chen's in there again. Really the heart and soul of the Dreamers team, taking a big step up this season. Yankovic missed. JJ with a rebound. That's the thing about this series, though, is typically a slower pace than these two teams want. Coach Marchand has definitely been challenged about his team's defense, but he said, well, if we score more than we allow, don't mind, as JJ hits it from mid-range. Good start to this one. He's on the board with 2 points. For the Dreamers, they've only brought 10 players on this roadie, and obviously Calvin is in street clothes. Meanwhile, for the Kings, they do have Quincy Davis registered, and he is in uniform, but we'll see how much he's used. Omar, a block shot. So Sushi can't finish the possession off. There's a miss at the rim, and the referees are going to have to look at each other, stay with the offense. Usually a good rule of thumb. Well, no substitutions yet for the Kings. And none for the Dreamers either. Now, we've got an interesting situation as Chen bricks the 3. Ball bounces harmlessly out of bounds. The Dreamers have the very first road back-to-back in the Plus League second season. Of course, that was a staple last year with home teams hosting the weekends 2 at a time, so the road teams had a swap. Where everybody was back-to-back. Obviously, the road team having harder not sleeping in your own bed, but the Dreamers will be taking on 2 games in 2 nights as a specialty, because at most, the road teams will play on Fridays and Sundays back-to-back. Sushi loses it on the way to the rim. 3-on-1, Steven the last man there. Chen missing, and an easy putback for Yankovic, so we gotta watch out. He's already been called for a tech hanging on the basket before. Yunhao missing the turnaround, and there's Omar Well, at least in this game, because he doesn't have a ton of film on him. He's pretty disruptive in the front court as a defender. Hall fouls Kenny on the drive. So to those statistical leaders, for those of you curious, of course, Sim Bular leading in points and rebounds pretty much all season. Number 2 is his good friend Anthony Bennett, but he only has 13 games to play, so the actual number 2 is his teammate Nick Faust, 25 points per game. Well, there's the buzzer and our first break in the action. Thanks for watching this Plus League broadcast. We'll be back after these messages.
Camera action, baby. I see you looking at my PIC. I know. 그게 땡겨 좀 더 땡겨 봐봐 기도 타지.
We're back on air. Be sure to leave a like on the stream. My bosses do look at that statistics. Now the Dreamers don't need to feel too bad though. They are 5-1 in their home back-to-backs. And RV got the victory on the front end and see if they can make it 2. As the new Taipei Queens make way. Now the blocks leader is pretty much a race between Dreamers' Brendan Gilbeck at now 3.0 per game. Sim actually had a kind of surprising high number of blocks. He had that record-setting 9 blocks against the Steelers one game in Hsinchu. Ended with 2.5 per game. A little bit closer than I thought, because Sim will always man the middle without a defensive 3-second rule in the Plus League. It's just kind of funny that so many opponents went to go challenge him. Kenny makes the first free throw. In fresh in the game is Byron Mullins and Quincy Davis. So it seems pretty intentional that Coach Marchand and the staff want to stack those minutes. Also, backup point guard Venti Hongsu-sen, who was interviewed pre-game, is in there as well. Mullins spins baseline, missing the close one, got his own board and finishing at the rim. They call him the Bear for maybe some of that extra facial hair and a large size. He is pretty clearly heftier than Yankovic, so advantage played out there. Longtime opponents, Quincy Davis, out there to give Derek some trouble. He's got deep positioning on the long arms of Derek, forcing a repost. JJ not subbed out, try another mid-range and is out to the left. Interesting, Derek's got to get used to playing with another big in the Dreamers. Wow, turnaround shot by Steven, feeling really confident. Under 6 minutes to play. Derek will try from 3, knocks it down, making it a 6-point lead for the Dreamers. Out of the double team, Mullins banks it in on the line drive. Byron Mullins, the third import for the Kings. Of course, Chris McCullough, fortunately sustaining that ACL injury. But pre-game, sent a video message to the Kings and the Kings fans. We got a big flare screen at Mullins missing the 3. And just like all of Quincy's SBL career, giving Derek some problems down the floor. Yankovic ISO on Mullins. Ball will go harmlessly out of bounds. So Boyd will take his place, and Doug will come in along with number 18, Yang Senyan. And for the Kings, good to see back Steve-O, Zhang Wenping. He was in protocol for a few weekends. He's joined by Xiaoli Lingliren, who had a career-high 14 points in Heping in a very short-handed King squad. That is kind of a thing for the Plus League in the Omicron period, if we can call it that. Whose team's discipline, self-management, or maybe COVID-safe practices are the best, because you don't want to lose a guy or two or three. Venti with a step back and getting the bounce on more defensive-minded Yang Senyan. That will help relieve some of that pressure, bringing it up. Jay, deep three, bouncing out. As I mentioned, Jay Chen made his first career start, only got 9 points, but jumped on the boards with 6. Another Venti three, and Mullins, another miss. Right now, the Dreamers a bit smaller with Boyd, only about 6'7", gets the easy score down low, and Derek, only about 6'8". So pretty clearly, Venti will start almost all the offense. Kind of a conditioning first shot for Quincy Davis. Miss at the rim. Let's see if the Kings can go down on the fast break. Xiaoli. Quincy Davis. Can't get the putback, but he'll go to the line. I'm not really sure what other fouls he's asking about. I guess the Kings can't afford to lose a guy. Not that we want that to happen. They have their full complement of 13 players registered, though. Admittedly, I have looked over at their bench, and I don't see KJ. Derek is off, and Yankovic is in. Davis misses the first at the line. He's a very good three-point shooter. In fact, one of the leaders of the league at 42.5%, but only a 67% free throw shooter this season, so go figure. Well, Jeff Wu's in the game, but the Dreamers throw it out of bounds. Got the start last night and had the entire team to help him with his hair. The post-game interview, as Boyd kind of caught there and called for travel. Now, thanks to the big blowout victory weeks ago, the Dreamers against the Kings averaged the second most points per game against the 5 opponents at 97. They only averaged 91 points per game. Fast break, Davis taking on former teammate and Doug, forced to go to the line. And of course, Ever the Comedian. I really don't know what the argument is, because Creighton is not quite the guy with the hops to beat Davis at the rim. He makes another free throw. Meanwhile, the Kings against the Dreamers, only 91.4 points per game. That's the low among all 5 opponents in the Plus League. They average #1 in scoring at 99 points per game. Now, that is if they get a chance to meet in the finals, of course. Interesting flare screen, the back pass as Yankovic rails the three. Now, in yesterday's game, the Dreamers, as I noted, ran pick and roll an awful lot, thinking they maybe can keep things simple against the Pilots. And Yang Sen-yen fouls Mullins, who was the lone import for the Kings. As we mentioned, Quincy Davis is listed at a Buntu 球员, a local player. But Mullins, the lone import, at least is a center, as Davis floats it in with the left hand. A 2-point game now with a minute left in the first quarter. Well, anyways, with only Thomas Welsh as a starter, they won 3 straight games, the Kings did, to open the season. And Welsh had a little bit of a hip injury as Doug knocks down his 3. Anyways, Welsh dealing with some hip issues, recovered for Kings versus Braves in Heping, January 2nd, an overtime loss. Shaoli's 3, no good. And they have to race back. Doug, can he make it 2? Yes. If you look above the Dreamers bench, where you're supposed to get a lot of fans, they're still taking advantage of the yellow cheer fans that the Kings hand out, but plenty of cheers for number 21. Get another look. One from the right side, one from the left side. Yes, sir. Anyway, so with only Thomas Welsh, Kings 3-1. And this is Mullins' 3rd game play, as the referees right in front of me are talking it over. 4.4 shot clock to first quarter clock difference. Kings patient with it. Venti. Quincy Davis waiting on a screen to happen. He tossed free in the corner. Blows by Yang Sen-yen. Steve-O with the 3, and it swirls out. Quickly down the floor, Jeff. Probably caught Shaoli out in the spin. He's looking for the foul. And get another look at that one. Dreamers finish it off with a putback. And build up to a 10-point lead after the first quarter. Here comes a break before the second quarter, and the action continues.
来一个射攻的动作 ，Hello， 来一个拉弓的动作。哎，子子来个拉，哎，不可能吧？来一个拉弓的动作，跟着我们的简佑哲 Sky 来一个拉弓箭的动作，拉弓箭的动作。哎，可以啊，这个后羿啊。 哎，国王的球迷朋友们，跟着微笑射手。Nice 哦 ，Nice 哦。Hello。Shoot the arrow。一个拉弓的动作，拉满弓没问题。欢迎你们来进攻体育馆。来喽。 Yes sir, yes sir。这个是我看过装备最齐全的，还有那一个。Yeah。左右开弓啊，就是那一招。 Oh, do the arrows。提醒一下各位，记得把口罩戴好。
COVID-19 is still spreading pretty widely in Taiwan, but be sure to wear your mask, wash your hands, and practice COVID-safe practices. Confirm the score. It is a 10-point difference, though, once again. Thankfully, I should say, the Plus League only got this one game that really doesn't matter to the final standings at all. Got the message across, and interesting enough, because the buzzer, the Dreamers thought on offense. Doug on the handoff with a wide three from top. His third make from the outside, kind of tradition-y game for the Dreamers and Kings. Maybe a little bit more testing out to do as Mullins overthrow by Quincy Davis. The Dreamers started things hot, 7 from 13 from beyond the arc. Let's see if Julian Boyd can get on there. No, sir, not yet. Pick and roll, and Mullins can't finish around Yang Se-yin. Jeff Wu hit the three, and a timeout. First team timeout by the Kings. Only a minute into the second quarter. Seeming what he can make an adjustment for as the team gets ready for the playoffs. You're watching the Plus League. Be back after this. Back in Shimzom Gymnasium, where the second quarter started, but a turnover and a missed shot. 6 points by the Dreamers. Coach Marchand seeing something he wants to make an adjustment on. There we see Jeff Woo-Young-sun coming over from a short stint in the CBA. Welcome addition to the Dreamers, along with the likes of Calvin Chen Li Huan and Doug Creighton, some locals. Notable locals, I should say. Dreamers put a pressure on. And they're saying too aggressive with the defense, but definitely caught the Kings off guard there. Getting into old, reliable Quincy Davis. Well, I've mentioned 3 of the statistical leaders that relatively clear front runners as Venti takes a tough step back. Well, assist wasn't that close, but Kyle Lee Kai-in of the Kings ended the season with 6.0. Taylor Braun missing out because he wouldn't have reached the minimum 20 games play requirement. As Julian Boyd tries to drive on the Kings defense. Yang Se-yin missing the push shot, and here come the Kings. Well, anyways, behind him was Jerry, the rookie, Chen Yongwei of the Steelers, 5.1, but it was much closer in the steals category, and actually a topic of conversation in the league office about how to handle if they end up with the same games played and same total steals. Would have been interesting. Boyd with a miss. Down low to Q. There's Doug Creighton on him, and easy lay-in for Quincy Davis. Boyd with the mismatch, but they don't go his way yet. Yang Se-yin bouncing out the three. Looks like Coach Julius wanted Boyd to maybe approach the basketball a little bit more aggressively as Xiaoli can hit the three. Couple fakes, and Doug got the crowd oohing and eyeing. Xiaoli gets it back on the other side with the lay-in. His first points of the game, and now these Dreamers want to talk it over. Specific instructions for Julian Boyd. Ian Yankovic did combine for 61 points in yesterday's game. They got plenty of shots up. Combined, by my math, 39 attempts. Yesterday's game, despite having only about 21 fouls, saw that both teams take a lot of free throws, so at least the intensity, you could say, was there. Now we see some stats for the Kings in the defensive end, giving up 107 points in the last 8 games. Of course, COVID concerns and injuries playing a part, but before that, only 94 points per game. Their opponent's field goal percentage is up by 8%. Opponent's three-point percentage up by, if I do my math really quickly, 4.7%. All things that they want to correct, and they do had last week off, or last weekend off, I should say, where the only game in the Plus League was Lioneers at Braves on the Saturday. They played the Braves on Wednesday. Anyways, out of the huddles, Mason Li Yingfeng will step on the court for the first time. In the King system, a power forward, despite being barely over 190 centimeters. All right, now, Kings showing a little bit of 1-3-1 zone. Jeff hits the three. One of those weak spots, 45 degrees or the corners. Ball goes out of bounds off the Kings. Kings have turned it over 4 times in the game. 2 times by the Dreamers. Down low, Derek getting the reverse on Mason. That's definitely one of those things in Taiwan basketball. If you have a traditional center in the pipeline, shall we say, like Blair, Li Dewei, or like Zhou Wenjing, if they can stay on the floor along with your import centers, that might create a lot of interesting matchup advantages. Jeff Wu fouls player going across the lane. Well, anyways, so in the steals department, the rookie, Jerry Chen Yongwei, will lead things at 2.3 over Kao Li Kai-yin, 2.2, and not in the active roster for this one. 3-pointer by Steven is out. 2 He's certainly fired. Like he's got the green light like Amigo as we getting a unsportsmanlike foul. Gonna be called on JJ. Got the initial fouls, and that's the key in the end, is the two-handed hold in the back. The referees don't like that, and it's one of the 5 categories of unsportsmanlike fouls in the FIBA rulebook. Yankovic out with the first free throw. It's the second one, though. That brings Yankovic to 11 points on the game, leading the field, as we see Sushi checking in along with Mullins. So, a little bit of split time for Quincy Davis and Mullins. Of course, necessary film to have the Kings study and get ready for their matchup against the Lioneers. With that being said, having Quincy Davis, Mullins, or Thomas Welsh as Kenny. Nice drive in the left-handed finish. Not only the Kings, but a lot of teams have demonstrated you want to load up 2 bigs against Sim. Down low as Mullins getting the bank shot. Asking for something extra as well. Drive and kick, drive and kick. Jeff Wu, close miss. He'll be off for Yankovic, they say. Kenny Chen pretty much had his way in yesterday's game, driving to the basket on the season, averaging 11 points per game. Sushi taking the contact, almost getting the finish. He was teammates with Jerry Tanyoue at Taiwan Normal University. University known for as the teachers' university. It produces a lot of professors and teachers, but Sushi not really highly thought of when he came out of college, as opposed to his teammate, of course, but has proven to be at least a solid, hard-nosed point guard who will defend really hard and maybe still needs a way to go to his ball handling and bringing the ball up the court. Well, good to see he's got a place with the Kings, averaging 2.6 points per game, but he's got to improve that free throw percentage, as my partner Kirk Long would say all the time. The point guard's got to hit those free throws. Another fellow rookie point guard, but different drafted team, is Jason Wang Zhengren. He brings it up. Boyd getting blocked at the rim. Trying to get it back, but now Mullins might cut away with the travel there, leaves the shot short. On the spin move and the second effort. Jason's got to be careful for maybe getting a flop technical foul. On the second try, nice pass by Doug to Boyd for 2. Just building on their lead. Right now, the Kings very out of sorts on offense. Now a foul before the drive is Boyd against Mullins. So as I was mentioning, the Lioneers certainly made a lot of headlines when they signed Sim Bular, 226-centimeter center. Everyone's got a lot of experience watching him in the SPL and, of course, in the Plus League. Now, 8 extra minutes on the clock. A lot of opportunities for him to perform. Mason missing the 3 and long rebound to the Kings. Jason up ahead to Kenny. Trying to shake and bake on Steven. And Julian Boyd, look what I found down low. Another timeout by the Kings. So anyways, I was saying, the Dreamers saw some success with maybe Derek lead the way, maybe playing behind Sim, and then Brendan Gilbeck waiting on the weak side to come help out or come provide his block shot ability.
All they need is to put a hand on us one time, and we stop fucking playing. We stop cutting.
Excuse
They
the
push us
Coach
a little,
Marchand with
and then we
language.
just walk out of the play. Stop playing soft. Stop playing fucking soft. You're not
That
soft.
is a point about the Kings. Known as a finesse team with their outside shooting, of course, but finesse still needs to provide your own
They're not calling
energy
anything.
and
they're not going to call anything.
your
so play
own
fucking physical.
opportunities.
Box them out, 50-50 balls, put a guy on his fucking ass, but stop playing soft.
Of course, the Kings without their #1 guy, Amigos, in street clothes. Did an intense workout to the pregame, but be taking things easy from the bench. Nice to see some young fans also getting into it. Like I mentioned, thankfully, the only game where the results won't affect the standings from 1 through 6. Wasn't the case in yesterday's contest. If the Pilots would have won, that would have really shook things up between the Braves and the Dreamers and the Pilots and the Steelers in the standings, and maybe the Kings with a victory on the Pilots' back could have leapfrogged the Dreamers to 3rd place, but didn't happen in the end, so chance for the youngsters to go to work. Derek called for being a little bit too teddy bear cuddly with Steven. So speaking of Amigo, it is the first game he will be missing action for the Kings. He played in all 29 previous games. Last season he missed 5 games, mostly on the leg contusion. That leg-to-leg collision with Brendan Dawson in transition. Missed free throw. Steven's got another. Now in the game, he's got 7 points. From outside, another miss. Maybe the Kings can build some momentum. Chen guarding Steven, who runs into Boyd. Took a little too long with that possession. Sushi doing his best, but Chen finishes on the assist from Kenny. Maybe a pretty decently hard effort play down low, but Steven really can't be in the middle and be making 2 or 3 moves. Mullen's early spin move leaves it short. You gotta time those up right, but he's got to jump back on the play on defense now. Boyd will go to the line now. Julian Boyd averaging better than 17, 18 points per game now. The second leading scorer in this head-to-head at 20.7. Yankovic, again the leader, 23 points per game after reporting on yesterday's head-to-head advantages. And for the first time is number 33, Yang Xingzi. Mentioned yesterday because he's played at Nansan High School. All the players out of that high school, leading team in the HPL in terms of titles at 7. He and Pong Pong were the Twin Towers, but Xingzi, after a year off, is trying to work his way back with the Kings. Well, I think he's picked the right team, or maybe not, depending on how you view it, because with Welsh out, he was the #1 center for the Kings, having the hard time bodying Sim Bular as Sushi makes his way to the rim and scores. Haven't seen him finish with the left hand, though. That'll be an interesting development. They trap Derek, but he gets it to Kenny. Maybe one extra pass as Boyd wasn't ready for it. Down the other way, Mullins blows the layup. Gonna be a void post up on Xingzi. He kicks it out. Derek's three, got it. Derek's been working on that three ball, and now he is 2 for 3 on the game, making it 8 points. Yesterday only played a modest 12.5 minutes, scored just 2 points, but used a little bit more in this one. Under 3 minutes to go. Kings with a big lead, or excuse me, Dreamers with a big lead, Kings with a big deficit. Boy, try to go with a pump fake, but wild finger roll is out. Classic 4-lane fast break as Steven hits the three from the corner. Century now with 6 field goal attempts, tied with Janiota for the most locals. Jason misses on the reload as Boyd keeping the pressure up. Steven in the corner again. Good arc, but off the mark. Little kick ball here, so they'll get a reset. Oh no, they call a foul. Excuse me. Anyways, chance for the Kings to get some subs in. Sushi getting that immediate feedback from the coaching staff. Jason on the pick and roll. Yankovic all day to aim it up. Hits the three. Jason called for the hold on Quincy Davis. Impressed to see yesterday's game. Linton still able to get his scoring, and actually was the focal point for them. Try to take advantage of the likes of Linton, or excuse me, Wang Zhengyuan, a little shorter than him, or Jay Chen. But that's also part of the Dreamers culture to have these young players find those minutes during the season and show what they've been working so hard on in practice. Coach Julius giving credit to Jason for being the earliest to the gym every day. So the Manor broadcast had a kind of funny situation where it's like, well, if Coach Julius is the first to the gym, but Jason was already there, then is he really the first to the gym? Doug mixing the push shot, and Quincy Davis runs it down and runs down court. Euro. Kashinsu for the reverse. And that's why, kids, you got to do the Mikan drill every day. Never know when that opening will present itself. Minute left in the first half. There's a wild pass from Jason right to the Kings. As Derek called for getting in the middle of that one. But admittedly getting a long look from the referees after his reaction. Here we see Thomas Wells. He has reached 20 games played, Thomas Welsh has, so he is eligible for various voting awards by the media and by the fans, so that was definitely a concern with the number of injuries he's sustained during the season. One for the back and the hip, and one on the lower leg before. Quincy Davis called for getting in the lane early. Now the Kings will try to put on a pressure. up the pressure with Venti trying to get in front of Doug, who pulls up from 3. That would have been a very difficult shot. Now the Dreamers' percentage going down to a little bit more recognizable, 11 for 26. Meanwhile, the Kings, though, only 2 for 20, both of those by Steven. He gives it up as JJ to Xingzi. Quincy Davis able to finish the play. That'll be it for the first half as Dreamers on a back-to-back score 28 in both the first and second quarters to have the lead heading into the locker rooms. Thanks for watching this Plus League broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen, heading to a break before we break things down at halftime. Back inside of Xingzhong Gymnasium, where we have an interesting contest where, believe it or not, fans throw vegetables onto the floor. Vegetable plushies, that is. Maybe you'll get to take a look at our next break. Xiaohu and Taipei on the Mandarin broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen on this English broadcast of Plus League Basketball. As always, thank you for joining us. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to leave a like. Taking a look at some of the notes from the first half. The Kings got a good start from Steven Xiaoming, we call him. Clinching that. He's got 9 points on the game, but the bad news is he has the only 2 3-pointers made by the Kings. They've taken 20 attempts. Meanwhile, Byron Mullins in his third game play as a member of the new Taipei Kings, introduced by teammate in London, DeAndre Liggins, who's getting the day off as well. Definitely having his struggles, 0 for 3 from three-point range, but critically, only 4 for 11 from two-point range. Definitely taking advantage of a lot of putbacks and maybe some mismatches in previous games against Plus League competition. But on that note, the Kings are not too far back in terms of possessions, though. They've turned it over only one more time than the Dreamers. Meanwhile, they have grabbed more rebounds. Of course, when a lot of missed threes means a lot of long rebounds, so they leave that department. But for the Dreamers, 14 assists on 19 made buckets. That's definitely the positive sign they want to see, though. Admittedly, it might be tougher in the playoffs when the defenses ratchet up their intensity. But that's my cue for the second break. More after this.
好，媒体朋友帮我捕捉一下今天的冠军玉鼠鼠队。OK 了吗？好，谢谢你们，再一次把掌声给我们霍密神射手，谢谢你们，谢谢你们来玩。
So the in-game activity was with the vegetable fruit fiber drink Bomi, if any one of you took a look at that during halftime. Well, in a game where 4 rookies got to start, the Kings certainly playing like it. As we see the leading scorers for the Dreamers, starting with Devin Yankovic, 14, followed by Julian Boyd's 10. Doug has a 9, Derek Lidowe with 8 points, and Jeff Wu Couple three-pointers made for 6 points. On the other side, Quincy Davis leading the boys in white with 10 points, followed by Xiaoming with 9 points, Byron Mullins with 8, Sushi with 4, and Yang Xingzi with 2. So pretty poor scoring effort so far in this one. Notably maybe from starting shooting guard JJ Janyota with just 2 points on 6 shot attempts. Well, maybe summarizing a little bit from the Plus League regular season, I looked it up, and only 4 weeks out of 21 weeks have the #1 team at the end of the week's games had more than a 1-game advantage over the competition. And in fact, 4 weeks during the season, there was multiple teams occupying the first place spot in the league. And of course, the Lioneers pulled it out closer to the end. Consecutive weeks, #1, consecutive weeks, more than a game ahead of the competition. So they're looking really strong for that Friday playoff debut. They missed out last year. Kings will also be making their playoff debut as a first-year team. One last break before the action resumes in the second half. Welcome back to the broadcast. We'll be interested to see if any local player can get a slam dunk and a free pair of sneakers from CEO of the league, Charles Chen. We saw yesterday, number 25, Li Zhen for the Pilots, able to get a two-handed slam yesterday. Of course, not going to be in this highlight package. See Wang Zhenyu and Jason getting the start and being pretty good in this one. He's got that 3 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, but he has turned it over twice, so that'll be something you would like to correct. He's only played 8 minutes so far in this one, so expect that number to double or more. Meanwhile, Doug getting his workout in, 3 for 5 beyond the arc for his 9 points in the game. He'll play a critical role in fourth quarters, providing that outside shooting and that veteran experience. The Dreamers rotating 9 players. The Kings so far have seen 12 players make it on the court. Still no Hong Kai-jie on the Kings side. Well, if we're also looking ahead in terms of playoff matchups, the higher seeded teams, the Lioneers and the Dreamers, do have the 4 wins to 2 loss head-to-head records against their opponents. That'll be the Kings and the Braves respectively. But of course, in a short series, best of 5 coming up. Don't know until they start playing. Venti off to Steven, waiting on the action to happen. Finally get a Quincy Davis on the block, but the Dreamers don't switch. And Quincy Davis will be called for 3 seconds. Don't see that a lot, but good defense by the 7-footer. Derek hands off to Jay Chen, and that's how things get started for the Dreamers. They have a little bit more strength in numbers. 5 players playing more than 500 minutes this season. And after them, only 3 players between 200 and 300 minutes, so a little bit of a fall off. And it'll be interesting how they'll compete without Randall Walko as Yankovic hits on the first shot attempt. Because if you look across the lead, maybe the Kings and the Braves have 5 guys above 500 minutes played, but 9 between 200 and 500. Of course, their injury concern, and more recently, obviously, the COVID restrictions. Now the Lioneers, 6 guys above 500 minutes and 7 guys in that 200 to 500 range. Interesting thing about the second season is there's also been, by my count, 6 overtimes in the regular season. So that's definitely made it a little bit more funky to do gameplay calculations as Jay Chen challenged hard at the rim. Open on the other side is JJ, and still struggling from the outside, still gonna get into form. But Jason answers with a long 3, too long. At the hoop, there's J10. Kind of interesting, younger players got to be cognizant because in game settings like such, understandably the referees are not going to be all that tight with the marginal contact. We've seen that plenty during big margin score difference games in the end as Yankovic tries to yam on Quincy Davis, but he's just going to go get the foul and a couple free throws coming up. Good thing everybody's okay because he got some air after that jump. Ooh. Oh, I got to thank number 33 for trying to put on a show. Maybe we'll get a chance later. Or is Quincy Davis going to say, I hit ball? Well, you can't also hit wrist at the same time, Q. But an 0 for 2 trip. On the pick and roll, Venti will dribble all the way through. Had that one intercepted by Jay. Quincy Davis in transition. Frustration foul. It's going to be his second personal foul. There you see Amigo once again. Leading scorer for the Kings. He's the only local player in the 6-team league. His understudy passes it off, and it's going to be a one-on-one. Mullins trying to go at the much smaller Kenny. Got the bounce there. Pretty incredible. Kenny Chen last season, the second game for the Dreamers, had a matchup against the 6'9", 6'10" Kadeem Jack. Pogo stick that he is. Hammer action, and out with it is the Kings. This season, he's certainly done his best to try to frustrate as Mullins finishes with an and one. Done his job trying to stick with top scorer for the Pilots in Devin Robinson, or frustrating Chris McCullough down in Taizong, as we saw. There'll be a timeout in our first break of the second half. Thanks for joining us on this Plus League Cast. Back after this. In addition to the playoff standings being set, what we also know is at least the first two slots in the Plus League's amateur draft. Here we see, I believe that's Joel and Tolbert chatting things up with Charlie Parker, head coach of the Chinese Taipei national team, and Charles Chen, a former team member of Team Chinese Taipei. That was a long time ago. Then he was actually, interesting enough, the Ling Dui. That Ling Dui position is kind of special and a little bit harder to explain for the maybe TV audience that doesn't know Taiwan basketball. As long rebound to Jay Chen. No, excuse me, that's JJ. Too many J guys in this league. As Mullins gets the finger roll. That makes it 12 points. Deep shot from Jeff. Bounces out, and the Kings can build on it. The Ohio native trying to rip through foul, doesn't get it. Here come the Dreamers. Kenny this time throwing left with the shake and bake. Prefers the right side by a lot, as boy airmails that one. Now feeling it from three. Not quite, and ball out of bounds off of Quincy Davis. I'm pretty sure Coach Metcalf, Quincy Davis' former coach in Puyang, would say, well, don't let him have the replay review too much. I mean, might have gotten away with a foul there. Pick and roll. And Derek ends up bumping Quincy Davis into Julian Boyd. Kind of one of those odd timing plays where if you don't get the steal early enough, the guy's kind of in trouble, as we see Boyd here getting ready to switch right from left, and Derek just straight up pushes the defense into him. So the Italian Pilots run that play so often. We got another foul, this time Jeff Wu. Staying with Mullins on the offensive starter, he hands it off. Takes a wild bank three. That makes it a 9-point game. Now a defensive foul. Kings Venti getting hung on the screen. That was also a very narrow-angled bank shot, too. Doug will try to answer it. Kings probably with their best lineup for today. Mullins, Q, Venti, Steven, and JJ as Mullins getting the right hook. Right now, Dreamers have Boyd, Derek, Jeff, Kenny, and Doug. Derek from the right corner misses it. Now feel the momentum in the crowd. So far, they're leading this third quarter 13-3. Again from top, he got it. And a timeout by the Dreamers. It's like Coach Marchand was urging the Kings to play with more urgency. Now the Dreamers probably going to be sending the same message. Also could be a lack of execution on the offensive end, too.
Your own fucking game. It's not about you or fucking you or you or you. It's about us. That's fucking bullshit.
Well, a little bit of inappropriate remarks from both coaches, but I'll try to cover them up right now.
Just do whatever you want.
In the third quarter,
That's the fucking bullshit. 4 straight selfish fucking shots.
Byron Mullins has got 14 points, and JJ the only other 2.
You're in heat. You didn't come up, and then you didn't roll 2 times in a row.
I think I've seen this more often in a modern basketball, where now offenses really are carrying the momentum for defenses.
If we say we're not going to fucking shoot on the 7-footers, then don't do that.
Because maybe even 4 or 5 years ago, the thought was you want to play good defense and give yourself a lot of momentum to fast break and get your attack going the easy way after consecutive stops. But with more modern basketball, it almost seems like teams need to get the basketballs going the hoop before they also up their defensive intensity. That's kind of seen here, but at the same time, maybe the Dreamers will say they're lacking the initiative right now. Well, they're out of their timeout as we see Mullins line for the quarter. On the game so far, that's improved into 19 points on 9 of 20 shooting. But no personnel changes for the Dreamers. Boyd going to the rack, almost got it. Kenny missing the putback. Waiting for the action to start. Quincy Davis will try from 3, and that 3-point percentage will have to wait. This time a foul, the 4th on the Kings. Well, Yankovic will check in for Derek. Doug to Boyd, who misses at the rim. That's a couple times. Number 42 has missed his opportunity. As Venti cleared the lane and gets to the hoop. But no timeouts by the Dreamers. They got to save it for the 4th quarter. Jeff shoots in Quincy Davis's face, gets the bank shot. Had a little bit of a delay of game situation here, so it looks like Doug Creighton will get a warning. There's a chance to get a few substitutions in as Steve-O Talwimpi checks in. Mullins missing from the high post. Jeff in charge of possession, finally get it in Yankovic, and he scores at the rim. Kind of curiously, the basketball bounces away from the Kings, so a helpful fan helps him out. Back to a 6-point lead, and now 16 assists on 22 made buckets. Horn set for the Kings. Down to Q, patient with it, getting the lay-in and the foul. Jeff Wu confused about that one. It was probably going to be on Boyd. And it is. Another look. That's kind of the, if you can get the angle, the power of the horn set is the two bigs can really clear out space for that high-low. That makes it 4 personal fouls for Boyd and gets the scramble for the rebound. Oh, with a little bit short of staff, Boyd now has 4 fouls, and Derek's got 3, and Jeff's has 3. Nobody with more than 2 for the Kings. Jeff! No, excuse me, Doug. Now Mullins leaves it way short. A little bit of a butterfingers, and here come the Dreamers. Now it's Jeff, his 3. Doesn't try the bank shot this time. Under 3 minutes left. Suddenly now a close game as the Kings have made up 13 points in this quarter. Mullins feeling it, hits the turnaround J. Old buddies Doug and Steve-O going at it. Doug gets the better of him, Mullins erases that opportunity. Another look, Boyd also too short to put up enough of a challenge on that turnaround, a little bit of fadeaway. This kind of thing, if shooters get in the groove, you take the advantage more often than not, as Yankovic, nice float shot. Now the Dreamers holding steady with the 2-possession lead as Yankovic Almost got the steal, and Mullins forcing it up. Maybe not a great shot selection. And not good with the hustle, leaving Sushi having to contend against Boyd, who scores on the third effort there. Well, if you've seen enough NBA basketball this year, you know that guys not hustling back is definitely an easy source of points.
Good.
Now we got a timeout.
So if they're in zone,
Listening into Coach Marchand's timeout.
Lee, Q, Young will be in shoulder. Once we get the ball to the high post, then you guys go down to the corners. Don't stay in the corners first, but play through this. If you can't get it open, Sushi, drive to one side. Q, you can pop, we can swing, you can play a little pick and roll. Young, you're just playing behind, trying to find open gap, okay? It's man. Sushi, Lee, Q, Steve-O, Young. Sushi, come off the double drag. Go set the second one. Steve-O, you go around Lee and go through. Go around Lee. Steve-O, go around. Q, clean up Lee for the second one. Trying to hit him here. Q then into the post, a two-man game with Lee. They're trying to get Lee on the second one, all right? Hey, stay aggressive. We got a minute 50 to finish. Minute 50, keep it in single digits. Try to get it below 5. Here we go. Here we go. Kings on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now, according to my math, the Kings have 64 shots plus 8 turnovers. That makes it 72 possessions. The Dreamers 62 shots, 5 turnovers. That is 67 possessions. So with a quarter left, we are on our way to about the average of this season series. Only 91 possessions against each other. That's how many times you have the basketball. That's a math equation. The league average is 93. So these two teams do try to make it hard on each other as Doug brushes that pass wayward. And Xiaoli will try from 3, no good. Dreamers trying to go with a mismatch, but Boyd pushed out to the 3 on the corner. Easy block by Q. Running low on time, it's a turnover. Steve-O with a lot of pain in his expression. Joins the fray, fires from 3 and buries it. They didn't execute on the first possession, but a stop and a score. Down to a 3-point lead. This time Yankovic from the right block on Yang Xingzi. They call him Yang. Easy score for number 33. Now he's got 23 points in the game. 2 double-digit scores for both teams. Get past to Steve-O. We'll try the step back this time, almost. One last possession for the Dreamers. Yankovic trying his step back and out with it. So after all, we have a 5-point game heading into the final quarter. Kings got to be happy with the results from that 12-minute frame. We got 12 minutes to settle things in what could be final Plus League game of the season.
Hello， 们边接电话边拉弓箭。来，反应很快，反应很快，可以哦。来了，这个我们拉一个弓箭，好不好？心甘情愿一点点。Hello， 可以哦，可以哦。我们一起左右开弓，好不好？可以。我们小朋友的部分，我们拉一个弓箭，好不好？跟微笑射手一起来。标准示范。来喽，来了 ，nice。啊，好可爱。Hello， 欢迎你来新中体育馆。
Dreamers inbound, now with a 5-point lead in the ball game. Maybe a little bit of a counting error with the scoring as Derek getting the left-hand hook. That would be certainly helpful going against the long arms of Quincy Davis. Devo from the spot he made already as Quincy Davis gets the two-handed flush. I don't believe he's eligible for Blackie Charles Chen's shoes. Exciting play nonetheless as Sushi takes the holding foul on Boyd. Starting things off for the Dreamers, the lone import. Yankovic maybe saving him to finish things off. They're trying Boyd, but too many King's bodies get in the way. The Shaoli, probably lucky he didn't call for the clear out foul. Kenny, as there's a foul called. It will indeed be Sushi for flopping. Kind of an odd thing to call while the ball was live, but you can see what the referee saw, because Shinza did get his hand on the basketball, which created that possible turnover opportunity. Well, that might be a first for the Plus League to have it happen live ball instead of what is often given a dead ball warning. And we've heard, thanks to perhaps like the new Taipei Kings program where they put the microphone on Byron Mullins, where a referee did give him a verbal warning for flopping on a defensive possession. Well, that's suddenly now 4 personal fouls for Sushi. As we have a second meeting between the referees. So our chance to get another look at it, and like I said, between Shinza and Sushi, somebody got their hands on the basketball and Kenny's wrist, so definitely creates a little bit of a conundrum as to how to handle the fallout from the flop. Of course, the awkward thing is if it's only a one-shot free throw, then Do the Dreamers get possession, or is it a 2 shots plus a 1 shot? By the referee's indication, it's only a 1-shot free throw situation. And it looks like the Dreamers will have possession. It is a pretty unique call. And smart on the scores table, only the same 19 seconds. Getting the screen from Derek, but Doug passes it up. Boyd into a wall of King. We'll get the foul in the second effort. Might have the sneezes right now. That has kind of been Boyd's operational method in the second half of the season, is to charge ahead anyways against the wall of opponents. We have noted sometimes he'll go into pretty serious cold streaks from 3-point range. Not a chance at the line. He is a 70% free throw shooter, which kind of helps his true shooting percentage at only 52%. Makes another, and now the Dreamers have a 8-point advantage. Stevo missing another 3. This season only a 24% 3-point shooter, and often can't get a couple in a row. You have a rotation like the Kings do with their wings. You really need a guy who can take advantage of a couple at a time. As Boyd now called for a legal screen. Oh, got another look. He's maybe saying Quincy Davis is holding him. That makes it 3 fouls on the Kings, 1 foul on the Dreamers. Quincy Davis trying to go baseline. Will get the roll. I'm kind of curious to see how the Kings work their rotation. As I said, I only have other starters left as Boyd answers with 3. The 3-point percentages on your screen. Now the Dreamers up to 35%. The Kings still below 20%. Doug from the left corner. As we have another odd live ball technical foul, it seems. It is a Byron Mullins technical foul. And the referee did give him that first word in, but when he turned around to check, Mullins continued and he gave him the tech. So the referee, not what you call trigger happy on that. Right now, it's kind of a matter for the Kings to really get settled in. They are playing hard, which is commendable, but they need to put on all their energy into winning the game if they can. Here's a missed shot. Stevo from the right corner. Still with a miss. Quincy Davis getting the putback. That makes it 5 offensive rebounds for Q. As Boyd able to get around Mullins and slam it home. Mullins off to the right, and here come the Dreamers. Boyd bodying Steve-O. And pretty understandably, the Kings want a call out of that. That is the thing right now, not a lot of substitutions. And gotta get fresher minds as Mullins hits the rim on the pass. Jeff from mid-range overshoots it. And Boyd, look what I found, gets the lay-in. And now a timeout by the Kings as Coach Marchand trying to get an explanation for that call. Maybe one last break in today's action. Commercials, back to the game after this. .74-70 the score now in this one. And the Kings had a big reaction to this one as there was a no call on the play, but whether defensive or offensive, really you hope the referees get in on a play like that. They already called the flop on Sushi, and not impossible to make a call there like that, but you got to put air in the whistle for something, for kind of a player safety issue. Not that it's something you need to punish Julian Boyd for being stronger than the defense, but contact so close to the rim, I'm starting to get concerned for other players who might fall down around them and run into the down bodies. It's going to be the same 5 for the Kings. Meanwhile, the Dreamers getting Yang Se-yin and Chen. They're showing a little bit of a zone look now. Steve-O moving without the basketball, gets the lay-in. Assist to Mullins. Now out of bounds off of the Dreamers. That makes it 10 turnovers for the boys in black. Finally, Charlie subbed out for JJ. Only has 2 two-pointers made. Steve-O from the left corner, short. Quincy Davis ran in there for the rebound. Nobody put a body on him, and he'll get the foul. That's what you got to do as the defense. Always know where I got a double take there. Number 50 is. Not quite a guy to go back on defense. He's going to always get his nose in there for the offensive rebound. Now he is only 5 for 10 from the free throw line so far. Looking at the fourth quarter scoring, the Dreamers up 15-10. Kenny driving the middle, hang time. And Mullins properly playing the FIBA rules. You can bounce the basketball after first contact with the rim. Devo hook pass to JJ, but the Dreamers got that covered up. And a foul, trying to defend Boyd on the steal. I heard the buzzer, but it doesn't seem like any substitutions were made. That means the Dreamers will be in the bonus for the rest of 6:47 left. Now Boyd has 24 points to go with 13 rebounds. And another. For that free throw, in fact, now leads all Dreamer scorers, as looks like we have a clear out foul by Venti as the dribbler. To this point, the Kings still lead the rebounding advantage. Obviously, the Dreamers, a few more opportunities at the line. Derek had that shot disturbed. 3-point makes is the margin of the game. 5 by the Kings, 13 by the Dreamers. As Mullins goes baseline again, that's his shot. Back to a 10-point game, 6 minutes to go. Boyd trying to put the moves on Mullins. To the hoop. And the Dreamers poke it away. 2 on 3. More bodies for the Dreamers. Chen doesn't hit the ice. Loaded up to the wrong orientation. The Kings only have to commit the foul. For the first time in the fourth quarter, Yankovic will check in. Steve-O will go down for Steven. If you don't know yet, there's also another Steven in the Kings front office. Make at the line by Chen. He's got 3 points on the game. Only 1 for 9 from the field, though. Yesterday, Wangsa, Yuan, Jason, and Kenny both scored in double digits. Now, Derek's the only local with 10 points. Dreamers commit a foul. No shot attempt. They get the switch. Jay trying his best to stay in front of Mullins, who misses the lay-in. A lot of Dreamers there to help him out. Mismatch the other way. Derek will hit from 3. Back to a 15-point lead. Venti over to Q. Maybe took an extra step and trips out of bounds. Kings call timeout, probably to get all their substitutions right and finish this one off. Well, some positive takeaways for the Kings. Byron Mullins worked through some of those early struggles. They went on an 18-point scoring run, which is even more than the Dreamers.
Get a steal. Just pressure the ball, drop back into 2. Byron, Q, Chunan, JJ, Venti. Okay? Now we're gonna pick up the rest of the way, full court. We're gonna pick up full court, don't get beat. Any high screens, we're going under. Going under anything in the full court, just be into the ball. Speed them up a little bit, try to get a little pressure, force them into some quick shots. Offensively, Byron, it's just like 4 down. Venti, Chunan, JJ, gonna hit Byron in the post. Q just set a little dummy screen here, and then hit a wiper action for Venti coming back over the top. Hit Venti, Q after you set the wiper action, slip to the rim. All right, here we go, pick it up, fellas. Here we go, stay in 4 down on offense when we can. Here we go. Kings on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Well, it seems like Coach Marchand calling the timeout to get his guys a little bit of a rest before they really turn it up on defense. Dreamers, same 5 that they went into the timeout. It's Jay Chen, Derek, Doug Creighton, Kenny Chen, and Yankovic. Doug left open, flashes the 3 from the right side. Well, so much for the pressure defense. Venti getting Quincy Davis' screen, gets the answer. Two-man game, Kenny pushes in the laser. His second field goal of the game makes it 9 points for his evening. JJ called for the holding on the drive. 3 free throws for the Dreamers as Mullins and Quincy Davis will go out for Omar and Zheng Yuhao, who played no minutes since their start. 5 minutes and 33 seconds, so kind of curious to have them start the game. Now come around to finish the game cold. And the horn set breaks down, but Venti's got the mismatch somewhere. Yuhao to Jay Chen, erased by Derek. Kenny finding space on the right side. We got a loose ball foul. One of those rookie fouls, Yuhao. Another look, got on the secondary rebounding effort. Up until this point in the season, Zheng Yuhao has played very little. In fact, only 17 minutes coming into today's game is the lowest among all Kings. Now, to his credit, he is continuing his studies from Zhenzi University mostly virtually, while he is a professional basketball player. If anyone is curious, the streamer who had the lowest number of minutes played is Nick Zhenziyang at 10.5. But he is a very popular guy in that locker room, and Taichung Stadium was very delighted when he scored his first bucket. Sushi can't get free from Sun Yin, so he'll fire this very deep three. And the Dreamers track down the rebound. Jason in the game, passes it out. Chen trying to find the angle, ends up missing the bank shot. Xiaoli, step back is good. Under 2 minutes to go. Kings have reached 81 points on the game. Dreamers already at the century mark. Now, understandably, both teams might be a little bit conservative with Dreamers on a road back-to-back, not a lot of bodies, and the Kings having played for a week and a half and missing some of their #1 guys as a rotational choice. See a player timeout. Looks like a pretty key thing is to get Derek out. He's got a little bit of a limp heading into the bench.
Our ball. Okay, let's get a score here. Look, let's run push for JB. Push, okay. So get it into Jason. No, I want Chen with the ball. Jason here. Who's the 4? Doug. JB ball side. Okay. Come off, pop, maybe even ghost. Okay, cross screen. There's no pin down, just separate, and then give me a LeBron once he gets it. Okay, let's go, let's go.
They rush everybody, but
yeah.
They rush us every time.
A little bit of concern as the trainers attend to Dowei. So far in this game, more than 25 minutes played. Forced to 13 points and 9 rebounds. Hopefully he'll be ready to go in a week's time. There's Jonathan Hand, general manager, and a not often seen a silver face mask. Boy getting the ISO, and pretty good defense, they say, by Omar. One thing to note about as Jason pokes it out of bounds, one thing to know about the rookie class for the Kings includes 3 Zenza University players. The 4th one selected in the draft is indeed number 8, Jason, who came out of a 2nd division high school in terms of basketball competition. Omar banks in the left knee. It's his first score of the game. He also has 4 rebounds. Out to Sun Yin. His line drive, no good. A little bit too much tangled up. There'll be a foul called. Omar down on the ground, might have hit his funny bone. And look for us. In fact, Boyd was the one who engaged the left-hand arm hook. But he did have position. Now Boyd with a chance to maybe overtake Mullins for leading scorer of the game with 2 free throws coming up. But he misses long with the first. Breaking his perfect free throw shooting day. And he misses them both. We've got a couple possessions left to wrap things up. Of course, waiting on the league to announce the possible scheduling of the last Steelers Pilots game as Shaoli dislaunches the defense and finds himself open like he did a few Wednesdays ago against the Braves. All the Dreamers will dribble the timeout and win on back-to-back games on the road, where it's against a shorthanded Pilots team and a, I should say, shorthanded Kings team. Right now, high fives and hugs all around. These two teams still might see each other in the finals. Kings are going to get set to take on the Lioneers, and the Dreamers are going to play the Braves in the first round of the Plus League playoffs. Last season, it was just the second and third place teams to get the right to play the #1 Braves. As right now, the Dreamers have a little fun and try to tie up Quincy Davis in their huddle. Stick around for our post-game coverage. We've been told that Stevan Jankovic will be the player interviewed. As of right now, a little bit lighter mood. Kings, of course, accomplishing quite a bit, having the #1 place in the league for stretches of the season. Went on a 7-game winning streak there. And have a spot in the playoffs, even as an expansion team. Meanwhile, the Dreamers themselves take a step up. They've had first place for 5 of the weeks in the middle of the season. We'll head to the
Thank you. I appreciate it. Big win for us to close out the season and get ready for the
second
playoffs.
place team. Asked about
I think I heard the question. Can you repeat it one more time? Sorry. Yeah, I think, obviously I came late, so individually for me, getting adjusted with the guys, because when I arrived, they were, we were in first place, we were playing really good. So for me, it was just to add to the team, and, I think we finished second, had a couple rough losses, in between, this last couple of months. But again, we finished the season strong, second place for us is big to get home court and just get ready for football now. Yeah.
Asked about the early foul problems, including some special fouls.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's normal for everybody who arrives. Especially for me, I never played in Asia, so I think it's a different, different game everywhere you play. I played, in G League, a little bit in NBA, Europe, and now coming to Taiwan. So you get adjusted. Obviously, first game, I got kicked out, little problems here and there, but I got adjusted. I think I understand the game a lot better now. It's normal things, though. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks for Jankovic for joining our post-game coverage. And that's certainly the case with almost every import player, foreign player who plays overseas in Asia, and Taiwan's no exception. He ends the evening with 23 points and 11 rebounds, but in the end, the Dreamers take a victory and remain in second place, just like we expected. Meanwhile, on the Kings side, Byron Mullins found his stroke in the third quarter especially, scoring 14 of the first 16 points to get the team back into contention, but the Dreamers execute on both ends of the floor, and they come away with a victory. We'll go to a break before wrapping things up from Xingtong.
People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I want to be in that scene. Damn right you want to be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being in this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. What y'all think? Everything that you say about me. My dogs like to play Madden in 2K, but one thing they don't do is play about me. My homeboy Tyler, who plays South Beach, he told me this summer he gon' fix my jumper. I told Boy Wonder that we might got a thumper. I've been trying to pop, now I'm on like Shumper. Now they on my bumper. Green room chock full of all my comforts. Hotel room like heaven on earth. Got angels in my bed with some all white covers. Ace Pro Nemo, Lucy and Keys, Sloop Clay Tufo, and I got a few more I call my brothers. I got a lot of flows and they all like butter. You know what that means. I came home nice, but I'm going back mean. I'm about to globe trot when they know a vaccine up. Zach lost, but they know exactly what's going on. Made a mill and I don't know what to blow it on. I tell a critic shut up like my show is on. Gave a t-shirt to her, said throw it on. She wanted many high school classmates, I'm growing on. My peers ain't popping, they don't know what's going wrong. Y'all well dressed, but you ain't got soul and you just can't sew it on. I'm trying to tell y'all boys, I got a few songs I can sell y'all boys. I tried it back then, it was hell nah, boy. Now I'm in a box like a Kellogg's toy. The ones that hate me the most are just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like DMX sing. These boys and they PMS sing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I want to be in that scene. Damn right you want to be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being in this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync.
And the next one,